the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Launches country's first helicopter flight simulator for aviator training. Philippine humanitarian team earns praise for earthquake response in Myanmar. President Marcos says 20 peso per kilo rice here to stay. DOLE to monitor wage hike compliance in Metro Manila.
Good day everyone, special to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Monday, July 7, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay, here to bring you today's story.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Army inaugurated a cutting-edge Redbird VTOL rotary wing flight simulator to enhance the aviator training at Fort Ramon Magsaysay, Nueva Ecija. Army Commanding General Lieutenant General Roy Galido personally tested the simulator, which mimics the flight dynamics of a Robinson R-44 helicopter, commonly used in utility and instructional missions. The simulator, the first of its kind in the Philippines, offers full motion capability with a 200-degree wrap-around view and 70-degree vertical field, providing realistic flight scenarios for safe and immersive training. Manufactured by Redbird Flight Simulations Incorporated of Texas, it supports the Army's goal of boosting aviation capability and pilot readiness under its modernization program.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Interagency Humanitarian Contingent received national recognition for its swift and vital response to the 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck central Myanmar. The multi-agency team, which included personnel from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, government agencies and private sector partners, worked alongside ASEAN-ERA to deliver urgent medical aid, logistics, and rescue operations from April 1 to 13. During the recognition ceremony, the Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. highlighted the deployment as proof of the country's capability to rapidly mobilize expert teams and coordinate international disaster responses. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. praised the team's professionalism and emphasized the Philippines' ongoing commitment to regional solidarity.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about NOLCOM reports significant security and humanitarian gains in Northern Luzon.
The Northern Luzon Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines has announced its key accomplishments for the first half of 2025. NOLCOM successfully dismantled two major communist terrorist formations, the Komiteng Rehiyon Gitnang Luzon and Komiteng Rehiyon Cagayan Valley. Additionally, 10 communist terrorist group members were neutralized and 12 firearms were recovered. More areas were placed under a state of internal peace and security, including all of Region 1 and parts of Region 2, 3, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. The command sustained the implementation of the PNP-AFP Collaborative Effort Program in collaboration with the Philippine National Police and local government units. NOLCOM also provided support for basic services and development efforts in former conflict-affected areas. In maritime security, NOLCOM conducted 43 air and 82 surface patrols in the Northern Maritime Frontier. The command led multilateral maritime cooperative activities with allied nations and participated in the Balikatan 40 2025 exercise with troops from the Philippines, United States, Japan, and Australia. NOLCOM also demonstrated its commitment to disaster response and emergency preparedness. The command deployed heli-bucket operations to contain forest fires in Ilocos Norte, conducted search and rescue operation for maritime incidents, and participated in the first and second quarter nationwide simultaneous earthquake drills. NOLCOM remains committed to ensuring the security and stability of Northern Luzon, protecting its territorial integrity security and providing timely disaster response to safeguard the lives of the Filipino people. This is John Sagao reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Juan from Nolcom.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
5 former rebels who surrendered to the 62nd Infantry Battalion received initial aid from the Gihilngan City government. The assistance, which includes cash aid, food packs, fertilizers, and vegetable seeds, was distributed by Mayor Filomeno Reyes and Major Leonardo Fora III under the Gihilngan City Task Force and local communities armed conflict. The 67th IB or the 62nd IB also committed in enrolling the former rebels in the enhanced comprehensive local integration program to support their transition to peaceful civilian life. Additional financial and livelihood aid is expected from both local and national agencies.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The GMA Kapuso Foundation, in partnership with the LGU of Canlaon City, Department of Education, and the 62nd Infantry Battalion, successfully distributed school supplies to 1,919 kindergarten and grade 1 pupils from 27 elementary schools in Canlaon City, Negros Oriental. The effort under the Unang Hakbang sa Kinabukasan project aimed to support learners in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. Each child received a backpack containing notebooks, pencils, learning materials, and face masks. The 62nd Infantry Battalion reaffirmed its commitment in supporting initiatives that uplift education and promote peace and development in Central Negros.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Maljoy of 1st CRG about 702nd Infantry Battalion participates in joint U.S.-Philippine Operation Wakwak.
Yes, Rofh, drone operators from the 71st Infantry Battalion and the 73rd Military Intelligence Company took part in Operation Wakwak, a high-impact drone competition conducted jointly by United States and Philippine forces at Fort Magsaysay, Palayan City, Nueva Ecija. The event highlighted the capabilities of tactical first-person view drones, challenging participants to accurately identify and engage a simulated stationary bunker. In addition, the multi-rotor reconnaissance proficiency segment tested operators' speed and precision in deploying an MRR drone from storage to active flight under time constraints. Operation Wakwak served as a platform for advancing interoperability, technical skills, and battlefield readiness between allied drone units. By enhancing skills and promoting real-world drone use, the exercise strengthened defense ties and improved readiness for future joint missions. This is Meljoy Nesho Aroko reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy for CRG.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines expressed full support for the documentary Food Delivery Fresh from the West Philippine Sea, which won Best Picture under the Tides of Change category at the 2025 Doc Edge Festival in New Zealand. Directed by Baby Ruth Villarama, the film highlights the bravery of Filipino fishermen and government frontliners amid rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea. The AFP praised the documentary for honoring those who risked their lives to defend the Philippines sovereignty. Recently, the Chinese consulate protested the film screening, calling it disinformation. However, Doc Edge organizers rejected the request to pull the film. The Center for Information Resilience and Integrity Studies condemned China's attempt to suppress the film, calling it a vital portrayal of sacrifice and truth in contested waters.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the 20 peso per kilo rice is here to stay, according to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. In his vlog, the president said the heavily subsidized rice is being sold not just in Kadiwa outlets but also in public markets. He emphasized that with cooperation of many national government agencies and in partnership with the local government, the program is achievable and sustainable. The chief executive added that they would launch the program in more locations. Currently, the government is selling the cheap rice to vulnerable sectors, including the indigent, senior citizens, solo parents, and persons with disabilities.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let's hear from Jess about 31st IB conducts meaningful campus tour at Kamalig National High School.
An inspiring youth campus tour was conducted by the 31st Infantry Charge Battalion Philippine Army at Kamalig National High School, Kamalig-Albay, attended by approximately 250 senior high school students in partnership with various government agencies including Philippine Air Force, Philippine Navy, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine National Police, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, Kamalig Rural Health Unit, and Local Government Unit of Kamalig. The initiative aimed to raise awareness among the youth on pressing issues such as insurgency, mental health, the protection of women and children, and available opportunities in public service. An open forum followed the talks where students actively engaged with the agency representatives, asking questions and gaining valuable insights on the topics. The administration of Kamalig National High School expressed their heartfelt gratitude to the 31st Infantry Battalion and its partner agencies for their commitment to educating and empowering the youth. The event reflects the continuing partnership for peace and the development of young individuals who are ready to stand up for the nation. This is Jess from Telcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD National News.
Senator Francis Pangilinan called on the National Food Authority to immediately buy palay directly from farmers at fair market prices. This follows reports that palay is now being bought at 10 to 13 pesos per kilo in some areas. Pangilinan explained that the palay production now costs 14 to 15 pesos per kilo. Buying it at a lower price means the farmers incur losses and that it's not right and unfair to them.
DWDD National News.
38 areas in Luzon were flooded due to the rains brought by Typhoon Bising and the southwest monsoon or Habagat. Office of Civil Defense Officer in Charge Assistant Secretary Rafaelito Alejandro IV that no casualties or missing persons have been reported so far. He added that there are no major floods as compared to previous typhoons. Alejandro was referring to the consecutive tropical cyclones that hit the country in 2024. The OCD is also monitoring the situation in Pangasinan as the Agno River may swell and cause flooding in nearby areas.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Leonor about BRP Domingo del Juana crew donates blood in Red Cross humanitarian drive.
Yes, Rofh, the officers and crew of BRP Domingo del Juana PG 905 joined the Philippine Red Cross Palawan chapter's bloodletting event recently. The activity was dubbed as magbigay ng dugo ng may bukal na puso. Their participation highlights the Philippine Navy's commitment in saving lives and supporting underprivileged patients through voluntary blood donation. Also, PG 905 reaffirmed its dedication to health and humanitarian service, pledging continued support for similar bloodletting activities in the future. This is Leonor Tarap reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the trough is affecting several areas in Luzon, bringing floods and landslides to the northern parts of the country. Landslides in Verac, Catanduanes, and Itogon, Benguet occurred last Friday due to heavy rains, forcing the evacuation of residents. The Office of Civil Defense Cordillera Administrative Region is working closely with the Itogon Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office, and the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office of Benguet to assist affected families and manage clearing operations. Meanwhile, the Department of Social Welfare and Development delivered family food packs to 235 families affected by flooding in Narvacan, Ilocos Sur.
DWDD National News.
Several areas across the country were impacted by the continuous rains over the weekend due to the southwest monsoon or Habagat and Typhoon Bising. The effects brought down prices of agricultural goods in northern Luzon. Farmers in Benguet have been forced to harvest their goods earlier due to the rains, with market prices down as sellers are offering goods such as cabbage at giveaway prices instead of throwing them out. Meanwhile, fishermen in Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte have been forced to skip fishing activities and remain on the ground for the past few days due to the waves. According to Ilocos Norte Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office Representative Marcel Tabihe, authorities are now coordinating to ensure that fisherfolk stay on land for the meantime.
Armed Forces Radio.
Now, updates from Geo regarding the Victoria City donates land 8 million pesos building to boost army operations in Northern Negros.
The 79th Infantry Masaligan Battalion expressed gratitude to the city government of Victorias for donating a 2-hectare land and a 8 million pesos multipurpose building in Barangay Gawahon, Northern Negros. The site will serve as a future army substation and alternate command post to enhance operational readiness in Northern Negros. Officials formalized the partnership through a deed of donation signing and groundbreaking ceremony attended by military and government leaders. 79th Infantry Battalion said the donation reflects the trust of Victoria City and assured that the Army remains committed to serve with integrity and dedication. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD National News.
5 gates of the Ambuklao in Binga Dam in Benguet Province were unlocked to release water. Pag-asa senior hydrologist Elmer Karingal said as of 8 a.m. Sunday, 3 gates of Binga Dam were open at 1.3 meters while 2 gates of Ambuklao Dam were open at 0.8 meters. Binga Dam's water level was measured at 574.45 meters. Its normal high water level or spilling level is 575 meters. Meanwhile, Ambuklao's water level was 751.86 meters, near its spilling level of 752 meters.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Labor and Employment will visit various establishments in Metro Manila to check their compliance with the 50 peso wage increase for minimum wage earners. The wage increase will take effect on July 18. National Wages and Productivity Commission Executive Director Maria Criselda C. said the Labor Secretary Benny Lagesma has given instructions to regional and field offices in National Capital Region to conduct labor inspections. She noted that a company is employing 10 workers or fewer and establishments severely affected by typhoons or man-made disasters were exempted from the wage increase. The official then urged the public to visit their website for the process on how to apply for the exemption.
Armed Forces Radio.
That is your more updates from Jai about 81st IB clashes with NPA rebels in Camarines Sur recovers enemy items.
Rofh troops from the 81st Infantry Battalion engaged in a 5-minute firefight with around 8 Communist NPA terrorists at the boundary of Barangay San Rafael Norte and Barangay Napolidan Lupi, Camarines Sur yesterday. The rebels, believed to be remnants of Comite Larangan Guerrilla Sub-Regional Committee, Bicol Regional Party Committee, fled southeast after the clash. No government troops were hurt, while soldiers recovered various personal belongings left behind by the fleeing insurgents. Pursuit operations are ongoing. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, dedicated lanes for students buying discounted tickets at the MRT3 and LRT2 are now accessible. Students have to present their ID card or school registration form and write their names on a registry to get a 50% discount on single journey tickets. Meanwhile, the LRT1 will have its own system to expedite queuing and reduce delays. Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon said President Marcos's instruction is to ease the lives of commuters, so they should not make it hard to verify student discounts. He also noted that discounted train tickets will be available for all students until the Marcos administration ends in 2028.
DWDD National
The
News.
Land Transportation Office has suspended the licenses of 10 taxi and transport network vehicle service drivers for 90 days. This is for allegedly overcharging and illegally contracting passengers at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. LTO Assistant Secretary Vigor Mendoza II said that in a surprise operation last June 25, authorities apprehended the erring drivers and subsequently issued show-cause orders. He added that the agency will not allow this kind of abuse.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Richmond about Jose Rizal Class Frigates launch first interdepartmental sports fest to boost unity.
The crews of BRP Jose Rizal, FF-150, and BRP Antonio Luna, FF-151, kick off their first Interdepartmental Sports Fest 2025. The event brought together departments across both vessels, engineering, operations, weapons, and support, to celebrate teamwork over rivalry. The ceremony included a parade of crew members, torch lighting, and a joint oath of sportsmanship, reinforcing unity, fair play, and mutual respect among participants. The Sports Fest highlights the Philippine Navy's commitment in building cohesion and solidarity within its fleet. This is Mon reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Richmond.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Mike about 6FAV equips firing platoons with new laptops to boost artillery operations.
The 6th Field Artillery Battalion, o 6FAB, has distributed new laptops to its firing platoons to enhance operational efficiency. The laptops are compatible with the automated fire direction center system, allowing faster and more accurate artillery planning and execution. Aside from boosting fire support, the laptops also aid soldiers in administrative tasks and training. This upgrade reflects 6FAB's ongoing efforts to modernize its tools and maintain a mission readiness. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
The Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center is mounting an offensive against illegal electronic gambling platforms operating in the country. CICC Deputy Executive Director Renato Paraiso said the major operation will be in collaboration the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office and the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation. Paraiso said influencers promoting these illegal gambling platforms will also be subject to prosecution by the CICC. The CICC has already monitored as many as 30 e-gaming platforms unregistered with PagPort are operating on a daily basis.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.